So I recently just saw Godzilla X Con, and by recently I say yesterday. Over the past couple months, spanning 2024, me and a bunch of buddies of mine have been binge watching franchises before the newest film. We did it with Ghostbusters, we did it for this, we did it for Kung Fu Panda, and we're probably going to continue going on, so forth for Alien Romulus, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We sat through the entire MonsterVerse, and I know I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not. I very much enjoy the MonsterVerse. It's fun, creative, new, and overall stupid. I'm gonna say a lot of takes in this film that a lot of you very well could disagree with. If you watch my reviews so far for Kung Fu Panda 4 or Ghostbusters 4, yeah, and you will see that I didn't care for those films because I said they were stupid, uncreative, like creative in a sense that they did things that were new and inventive, but they didn't do anything with it. And I didn't care for those movies because of how stupid they were. They didn't take themselves too seriously, or they took themselves too seriously. You get what I mean. I don't like those movies. Case in point, end of discussion. I went into this film knowing it was going to be hot garbage. I went into this film thinking, hey, as long as we get some cool fight scenes, that's all that matters. So I sat there. I sat there and watched Godzilla 2014. I was like, man, this is so serious. We're building up to something that is only in the movie for 10 minutes. This is so serious. And I watched Kong Skull Island, and I was like, okay, much better, fun, and still really serious. I didn't really care for any of the characters, though. Godzilla King of Monsters. What a stupid movie. But man, I had the time of my life watching that movie. Godzilla vs. Kong. All my friends, including me, seem to prefer that movie because it's like, the human characters are a little bit better. And there's not like some stupid subplot with the characters, except in Godzilla vs. Kong there is, but it's not as pretentious or over the top in a serious manner as the other ones. Godzilla vs. Kong is when the franchise kind of just falls apart and it's just like, you know what? Fine. You want a monster movie? Here's a monster, and they do it. So after Godzilla vs. Kong, I was like, we had Mecha Godzilla, we had Ghidorah, and now we have giant monkey Skarkin. What's so special about him? And when I tell you that I had tears in my eyes by the end of this movie is the polar opposite of Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One has fantastic writing, fantastic setup, fantastic characters, fantastic direction, fantastic monster scenes. Every part of Godzilla Minus One works in a way where you are like, I thought they were going to end it there. Huh, weird. And then the film keeps going and you find yourself enjoying it more. This film, I was like, wow, I don't care about anything right now. I am having the time of my life. Also, Titanius Doug carried the movie. This film doesn't want you to be bored. This film doesn't want you to care about the main characters. This film doesn't want you to sit there and think, ugh, another MonsterVerse movie with boring characters and Millie Bobby Brown holding her arm out going, ah! No. The fight scenes in this movie were that of a Marvel movie. And I mean that in the best way. This movie is the anti-Marvel movie. Like, it feels like a Phase 3 film, whereas Ghostbusters and Kung Fu Panda felt like Phase 4, where it's like, we're making this because we have to, and we have to set up an ending for the character, whereas this one is like, I don't give a shit what we're setting up. If it gets a finale, it gets a finale. I want a good story, fun action, and just something happening. And that's all this movie is. I don't have to go into this film at all. All you need to know is I had the time of my life watching it. By the end of the movie, by the final act, by the final fight, my eyes had tears in them and my jaw was on the floor. Not because of how amazing and how much of a spectacle and how thematic the film was, but because my inner child was coming out telling me, dude, I wish I was drunk. I wish I was on substances. I wish that I was experiencing this movie in a more, like, more. I wanted more. I could have sat there and watched these guys fight for 4 hours. I want the Snyder Cut Godzilla X Kong A New Empire movie. I had the time of my life. If you have a chance and a couple shooters, go watch this movie. I had so much fun. This movie, my friends preferred this movie over Dune Part 2. I don't know where I stand on that. Dune Part 2 is much more a movie, whereas this, I don't even know what to experience. I had the time of my life. It was so much fun. Yes, there are so many issues with it. I'm a pretentious movie enjoyer. There's, of course, a million things wrong with it. But if you're going into a Godzilla MonsterVerse movie expecting something cohesive, then why the fuck are you going into a MonsterVerse movie? Go watch it. I had the time of my life. Peace out. I'm gonna go smoke a cigar and just say hell yeah for 30 minutes.